let's see what this little pocket thrower can do. Well, technically it's not even a thrower. It's more of a further distancing small size 18650 flashlight. You can see it gets to 100 meters. Pretty easy. Compared to other lights in this class, it outthrows them, that's for sure. Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I bring you the review of the Rofis KR10. Shine harder. It's basically a miniature version of the Rofis KR20. It's got all the same features, the same UI. Actually, I'm not even going to run over the UI because we've already seen it now a few times. It's just smaller, lighter, and more compact. Or I should say compact. I don't think more compact is a word. Let's get the review started. You know what? It's been a while since I've stood in front of the camera. So let's just do that for a while and see how it goes. The Rofis KR10. It's basically meant to compete with, I guess, the S2 Plus in the BLF A6, at least in size wise. Price wise, it is a little bit more, but you are getting a more premium light, obviously. We'll run over what it comes with first. You get the clip, that's what it's called a clip. You get the warranty card, which Rofis is pretty good about. Yeah, they're always there. If you need them, you can find them on Counterpart Forum, Budget Light Forum, they're active. And also you can email them. The instruction manual, you get the sheath, flashlight holder, whatever you want to call it. Hey, watch it, chief. You get the lanyard, which I haven't actually put on yet. Usually that's the first thing that goes on. Micro USB 2 cable, and they give you a spare USB port cover, a spare USB port cover, 2 spare O-rings, and a spare rear clicky switch cover. You get everything in this package. Oh, and before I forget, you also get the included Rofis 3400 milliamp 18650, which I always forget anyway. Yeah, like so. I'm feeling lazy. I think I need to be like a news presenter, and I get a desk and I can just sit down in front of the desk. Yeah, so basically the Rofis KR10 is the same as all these other Rofis lights that I have reviewed. Pretty much the same 3 amp driver, constant current driver. Getting sore legs, I'm not dancing. And XBO HI. Yeah, so the difference between this and for say S2 Plus or BLF A6, they're about the same size, these, but this uses a SMO reflector, so you can see it's smooth metal oxide reflector, which I'll probably break and then I'll have to sand it down, and then I'll never be the same again as usual. Yeah, so it's got a maximum output level of 110 lumens, which is great. That's a lot of power, more than enough for an EDC. I don't EDC a 18650 flashlight, but as some of you may know by now that when I do these reviews, I often like to EDC my flashlights, well, these flashlights that I'm getting. So yeah, what am I EDCing right now actually? I've got something in my pocket. Oh yeah, EDCing a knife, which I can't actually do because I'm inside my own yard. It's sweet. Yeah, so max beam distance of 257 meters. So it's a lot more throwier than those lights that I've already mentioned. It does a pretty good job. Considering it's not overly huge, it does a really good job, I should say. Obviously, if you want to step up in size, they've got the Rofis KR20, which will give you a little bit more throw. This is tailored as a tactical flashlight, I guess, in somewhat way. It does have the dual switches, so the mechanical lockout here, so that's on now, and the front switch to change modes. So you can see it's changing modes like so. Yeah. So the high efficiency constant current driver offers a runtime up to 192 hours. So it's got an intelligent inbuilt charging circuit with voltage detection, so it can charge safely and rapidly. It's pretty much going to be using the same charging circuit as all the other times. So I measured that 750 milliamps last time, which is pretty good for this cell. That's 4.5. No, we'll call it even. We'll call it 5 hours because it's a good charging technique. So it'll be using constant current and constant voltage, and it will drop down as the cell gets more full. Yeah, so USB inbuilt charger, obviously that's why they give you the battery. We can remove the port here, Man, that truck was loud. You guys can't even see that properly, can you? I can't even see that properly on the camera. Yeah. Um, Intelligent memory function, so it remembers your last used mode. Broad voltage circuit accepts both rechargeable and non-rechargeable lithium batteries. So basically you can use the included 18650, which I would recommend because these are good cells. I actually use these cells, I take them out and I use them in my modded, like my BLF A6. They actually perform well. Or you can use CR123s or 16340s, the choice is yours. I think if you use the CR123s 1700 milliamps, you get a pretty good runtime too. But we can't even buy them here anyway, so there's no point. Well, because you can't buy them, I can't find them. I find them on eBay, but from overseas. Optimized ultra precise reflector. So yeah, the reflector is SMO reflector, as I've already said. IPX8 submersible to 2 meters, so that's always great because it is an EDC light or a tactical flashlight, so it is going to get wet. Toughened ultra clear mineral glass with anti-reflective coating, so if I angle it like so, you should be able to see the AR coating. Yeah, you can see it pretty well. Yeah, so obviously aerospace aluminium alloy, most lights are made out of that now, and type 3 hard anodizing. I don't even need to read the instructions for that because that's all standard for Rofis. Reverse polarity protection, which comes on all these drivers, and stainless steel titanium plated clip and anti-roll design. I don't know what makes it anti-roll. Maybe these little things here and the head too. See how the head is shaped like that? Wait, let me just try it. No. Yeah, alright, now I get it. Yeah, it's got a flat spot at the bottom. What kind of review am I doing here, eh? Ask for a refund, guys. Alright, so straight up, without looking at the instructions, let's see if I can get into moonlight mode without looking at the instructions. I'm pretty sure it's the same as the other Rofis lights that I've just done, so it should be pretty easy. I'm pretty sure you just got to hold the side switch and then you got to activate the rear clicky. Woo, moonlight mode. That's actually pretty cool. So easy to remember too. Yeah, so that's 5 lumens. We'll turn it off and we'll put it back on to normal mode. You can cycle through modes anyway. I think next mode up should be ultra low, 14 lumens. Yep, ultra low, 14 lumens for 112 hours on the 18650. That moonlight mode lasts 192 hours. Yeah, I'm not really a moonlight fan, so I love it when companies hide the moonlight mode. I just had a mind blank then. Next one should be low mode, which I probably already accidentally pushed. 65 lumens for 31 hours. Next up, medium mode, 160 lumens for 11.5 hours. Next up, high mode, 350 lumens for 4.5 hours. And then we got turbo mode, 1100 lumens for 1.5 hours. Then I'm pretty sure you double click or you push and hold one of them to get to strobe, beacon, and moonlight and SOS. You push and hold the side switch. So we're pushing and holding. That should be strobe, and then you should be able to click. I think you should push and hold, and it should change modes then. Yeah, so that's actually pretty sweet because now I've been using enough of these lights. Even though I don't EDC these lights, I can still remember the UI. So I'm pretty happy they haven't changed it too much. It's kind of just pointing that inside my neighbor's house. All right, so max peak beam intensity, so CDs, 16,528 CDs. That took a while to get out. 16,528 CDs. It should be a stand-up show. Max beam distance of 257 meters. Impact resistant to 1.5 meters, which is great because it gives you the extra 0.5 meter drop resistance compared to what most other companies give you. By doing that, I'm thinking that they must glue the internals, which I already know that they do, but that doesn't matter anyway. I've got lights that I put potting resin in myself, and I gave to my mates because they always drop them, so that helps keep the components together. IPX8, 2 meters underwater. So this light comes with all the other goodies too. What the KR10 does, the same driver, you know, so it's going to have the same sort of settings. I'm pretty sure it's got momentary, so that's on momentary. then you can still change it up by pushing the side button, but it's not fully activated, so that's momentary on without clicking it the whole way in. If I click it the whole way in, you should be able to hear it. You can hear that, guys. Got the location beacon, which I can never actually work out how to get to, but I know it's got the standby mode. So if I go like this, all right, now it's on, I should be able to just cycle through the modes like so. Turbo, now that should be off, and that should blink. Yeah, that's blinking. It blinks twice every 3 seconds, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I was actually close. It blinks twice? No. What did I say? It blinks twice every 3 seconds, or did I say that? I'm not even sure. One more thing I forgot is that it's got the tactical and the outdoor settings, but you don't really change it in between. The tactical is just the momentary. So if we double click the rear tail switch halfway down, so not the full way down, it'll give you instant strobe. Whoops, Kai, that was in standby. Let's try that again. Alright, sorry. There we go. It's that easy. It's not going to work if it's in standby mode, and if I don't remember that it's in standby mode, it's not going to work. It's also got the usual memory mode, which I'm having problems right now remembering everything that it has, but I'm pretty sure I got it locked down now. I'll show you around the light, then we'll move on from there and we'll go outside. And my neighbors are watching me, so I'm kind of like looking around because they're watching me. Alright, so I actually forgot to run over the size wise. I got it up next to a S2 Plus now, you can see. They're pretty similar. Obviously the KR10 is still going to be longer because of the inbuilt charger. So its overall length of the KR10 is 134.5 mils. So 13.45 centimeters. Its head diameter is 25 mils, and its tail diameter is 24.2 mils, and its weight is 75.5 grams without the battery. So even though it's got the charging dock inside and stuff, they still managed to make the weight pretty much the same as a S2 Plus. They weigh pretty much the same. It's a little bit longer, but you can also see that the head is bigger and wider, which gives you the extra throw. Obviously the SMO reflector helps too, but it's mainly the size of the head and the reflector. Alright, so now we'll take it apart and we'll have a look at the inside. So I'll show you the USB port first. Standard micro USB 2. It's there, it's covered with the port. They give you a spare port, as I already showed you guys. Make sure you seal it back up if you're going to take it out too. Take it off. We'll undo the towel cap. That's the towel cap there. Obviously that's the switch there. We'll take out the battery, 3400 milliamp Rofis battery. That's the driver's side there. You can see it there, all the way down the bottom. Yeah, that's the SMO reflector and the XBO HI. Overall, the build quality is great. If you look at the threads here, they're very well cut. One difference between this light, the KR10, and other lights is that Rofis actually anodized the threads on this, but they left off that part because you need that part for the earthing. So yeah, so I've actually got the KR10 here, and I'll show you guys that. Put this back together. Yeah, so size wise you can see a pretty big difference between the KR10 and the KR20. And if I show you what I mean about the rear tail cap, it's unanodized on the KR20 compared to the KR10 where it's anodized. That also makes locking out possible by undoing the threads. So you got the light on, but you think you got enough stuff in your pocket, so it still might activate. So you can just slightly undo the threads and it's not going to turn on like so. I actually should mention too, so you can see it here blinking when I turn it on, the indicator button. This has the battery indicator, the same as all the other Rofis lights. So the battery indicator will flash green for 3 seconds if the power is over 50%. If the power is under 50%, it will illuminate red for 3 seconds. And if the power is too low, it'll blink quickly when the battery is going to run out. So it'll blink red really fast to warn you that the battery is going to run out. It's the same, pretty much the same like UI. This KR20 will have the same. So we'll see that it'll illuminate green here. Unless I haven't charged my battery because I've been lazy. It's not illuminating. Why? Well, it did illuminate, but it illuminated red. So that means that I have to charge it because I'm going to compare these two soon. So that was my bust there. Alright guys, now I'm pretty sure I ran through all the specs of the KR10. I gave you the size. Why am I doing this with this? What am I teacher? Here's a bored kids look out. Yeah, so now we'll take this outside in my backyard. I'm already outside, but it's still too much light. We'll get the BLF A6. What pocket throwers do I have? I don't know. We'll get a couple of lights. We'll definitely get the BLF A6, the S2 Plus, and we'll get like the KR20, and we will compare the throw and the output and see how they do. We'll start that shortly. Alright guys, now we've got the Rofis KR10 on. We're outside now. It's a little bit cooler here in Sydney. Not too bad actually, like 21 degrees. The other night it was like 35 degrees overnight. So I think I probably chose the best night to do this. Yeah, so we got moonlight mode on. Basically they say it's 5 lumens for 192 hours. You can see it's still fairly bright, but not really super bright. We're about 4 meters away from the door, somewhere around there. Even if I show you down here, they can light up the white stuff pretty easy anyway. Now we'll simply click the button and we'll change up modes. And we'll see how much brighter it gets. Whoops, spinning it around in my hand. So next mode up should be ultra low, which is 14 lumens for 112 hours. You can see right now that that's a lot brighter than the moonlight mode. Over double, obviously. I might move to the back and see how well it does in the actual backyard now. Alright guys, we've still got the ultra low mode on the Rofis KR10. You can see it's lighting up the backyard, not too bad. Next we'll go upper mode, that should be low mode, which should be 65 lumens for 31 hours. And this light has a very nice beam. I really like the beam pattern. It is more throw heavy light, but the beam pattern is awesome. Next up, medium, 160 lumens for 11.5 hours. So not a huge jump there, just a tiny one, but you can see even if I point it over this way, you can still see more of the right side is lit up than with the other mode. You can't really see the hotspot yet, even though it is a little thrower, but soon enough, once we go up another level, you'll be able to see the hotspot. Next up is high mode, 350 lumens, 4.5 hours. Now this is pretty much the sweet spot for this style light, because it's not the heaviest and the biggest light. Basically this is the sweet spot. I think the KR20 has a higher high mode than 350 lumens, I'm pretty sure, but not 100% sure because I can't remember. We'll try this at 100 meters and see if it reaches. It does, I can see it there, but not the best. It's really spread out, but it does actually reach, which is cool because there's supposed to be a thrower. Alright, next up, 1100 lumens, turbo mode, for 1.5 hours. So there we go, that's 1100 lumens. And let's have a look at 100 meters. Yeah, it does it easy. Now you can see the tree, easy as cruisy. You can see more than enough light to light up my backyard. Because it's a cooler night than the rest of the week, this should stay on turbo for quite a while. The light isn't even getting warm at all. So we'll cycle through modes again. That's turbo mode there again. So it does a super good job. Now we will compare it to a few lights. I've actually got a BLF A6 with a SMO reflector, and we'll try that one first and we'll see how they do at 100 meters. Alright, I've still got the KR10 on. I'm yet to turn it off the whole time that I've been here. So BLF A6 to the right, KR10 to the left. You can see the BLF A6 is super bright, obviously. Still probably one of the brightest lights that I have. You can see the tint difference too. Alright, now we'll go to 100 meters and we'll see how it does. At 100 meters you can see the KR10 lights up the tree pretty well. Now we'll try the BLF A6. It gets there, but not as well. It's a lot more spread out. I think even when the BLF A6 had in the OP reflector, it was just that bright that it still used to reach there anyway, because it's got so much power. Alright, let's try a S2 Plus and see how that does against the KR10. Alright guys, we got the KR10 on turbo mode, 1100 lumens, and we got a S2 Plus at 3 amps with spring bypasses and a XPG2 on a Noctigen board with direct thermal path, so pushing about 1000 lumens, maybe a little bit more. You can see they're pretty similar in brightness anyway. The KR10 is just that little bit brighter, not by heaps, just a little bit. You can see the tint difference too. If we try them both to 100 meters, which we will now, we'll see which one does better. Okay, so that's the KR10 at 100 meters. You can see it there fairly clearly. It lights up the tree very well. You guys didn't even see that. So that's the KR10 there at 100 meters. Lights up the tree very well. It's spread out, but it still does a super good job. Now that's the Convoy S2 Plus there. It actually lights it up pretty well for a OP reflector. Doesn't do such a bad job. It is more spread out than the KR10, but it's not too bad overall actually. Alright guys, now we've got the big bad boy on. We've got the KR10's older brother, the KR20. You can see it's a lot more throwy, but then it is a lot bigger light too. It's actually huge compared to the KR10. We'll put the KR10 on now. So KR10 to the left, KR20 to the right. You can see output wise they're pretty much the same. I wouldn't be surprised if the KR10 actually appears brighter because it's a more spread out beam. Same tints, they're pretty much the same lights except for the bodies. We'll try it to 100 meters. That's the KR10 at 100 meters. You can see it does a pretty good job. For such a light like this, it does a pretty good job. Alright, so now we've got the KR20 at 100 meters. Obviously it throws a lot better, it's a lot bigger light. But yeah, that's just the way it is. If you want to carry a bigger light, the option's there. These are both great lights, so it's hard to choose. Just depends if you want one that's more EDC friendly or you want one that's going to throw further. Alright guys, that's pretty much the Rofis KR10 wrapped up. It's a great light. You can see it's got way more than enough power than what people need. When you buy it, it comes in a whole pack. You get the light, USB charger, it's got an inbuilt charger, you get the battery, lanyard, sheath. You get everything that you need to run this light straight from the pack. It's got amazing output. It's got pretty good throw. It's no dedicated thrower, but it does outthrow your standard small compact 18650 lights. It's going to outthrow an S2 Plus, A6, any sort of light like that. This will easily outthrow them. So if that's what you're looking for, a little bit of extra throw distance in a small compact 18650 light, check out the Rofis KR10. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the review of the Rofis KR10. As always, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.